יש יחס אישי בשובו. זה לא בכל מקום יש. זה מאוד חשוב, שנותן הרגשה טובה, שיש עם מי לדבר. זה בית ספר מיוחד. בית ספר מיוחד. אחרי שנתיים, שילדים שלי לומדים בשובו, החלטנו כאן במסעדה, קיבלנו החלטה פה, לעשות כשר. לפני זה היה עובד בשבת, היה פה עוד בר, סיימנו הכל, מכרנו את חלק שני, ועשינו פה הכל כשר בד"ץ, אוקיי? וזה גם לכבוד זה שילדים לומדים גם בבית ספר דתי, שזה שובו. היו מאוד מאוד מבסוטים שסוף סוף נעשה גם כשר, שהם יכולים להזמין גם חברים לפה, כל החברים שלהם. שובו, תודה רבה. תודה רבה, שובו טוב מאוד.
We came from Russia when I was 3 years old. When I was in 6th grade, my parents wanted a better education for me, so they sent me to Shuvu. Before that, being Jewish was like, okay, you're Jewish, nothing special about it. When we started Shuvu Le'avim here in Jerusalem, it was my first Shabbos here. Before that, I wouldn't light candles before Shabbos. The whole experience was very special. That was the time when I first started to think of Yiddishkeit for myself.
Weiß. Gimel.
My husband and I, we started dating before we got religious, and we wanted to start a life together the proper way. The hardest thing for me was to tell my parents that I'm going to become religious. Because my father is like an idol for me, because he gave everything he had to me. And telling him that I'm going to get married and that I'm going to be religious, it broke his heart. My father didn't want even to come to my wedding. Shuvu arranged everything. My wedding, they made it possible that we can start our lives. We owe everything to them. Today we live in Jerusalem. We have 4 boys, and today was my third boy's 3rd birthday. We took him to the Chaydia, where was a big party. It was very, very exciting. If I look back how I started my life, how I grew up in the regular world, my 8-year-old son is learning Gemara. My husband didn't have that when he was 8. Without Shuvu, my kids wouldn't have this life, this knowledge, and nothing. Everyone that supports Shuvu has a part in this mitzvah. Not only the mitzvah of telling people where we came from, but you have a part in my children's life.
When I look at the mirror, I see that happy woman. I remember that my first days in study, that all of my class starting pray in the morning, Shachrit, and I didn't know Philo said Shema Israel. 9th grade, I think, when we starting make a Shabbat, and suddenly I come from Shabbat to Bnei Brak from my teacher's family, and they stop their life. They sit in the Sudot and make Kiddush. That's something we also have in my family, but we have a Kiddush with television. It was something not normal. It was normal. If not Shuvu was supposed to be, I going now in 21, going the trip somewhere, starting to study some. It's nothing really Because Shuvu, I meet the יהדות. Because Shuvu, זכיתי בכזה בעל מדהים. זכיתי בבית יהודי. זכיתי בבעל שהולך ולומד. Amazing husband. That honor me. Happy woman. Thank you very much for beautiful years with beautiful and amazing teachers. Amazing מנהלת. It's definitely a new life. Definitely.
I remember that I love how it looked, but I remember that my mom looked at me differently, and maybe she even liked it. Even it was hard for me in front of my friends and my sisters who don't believe. I do what I want. They want us to be happy no matter what, no matter you believe or not. Thank you. Really. It was hard, but it was it.
My name is Aryeh. I am a student at Machon Lev, Jerusalem College of Technology. I am 29 years old. Today is my Jewish birthday. Every kid that came to Bar Mitzvah, Shuvu gave me tefillin, and my tefillin today is from Shuvu. Shuvu sent me to the dinner to speak about it.
We will now see the Kesher Tefillin program in action.
They said the Shuvu Bar Mitzvah boy attends the Shuvu Bar Mitzvah dinner.
My name is Aryeh Friedman and I'm 13 years old.
It was the first time I went to America. It was very exciting for me.
I also had the great zechut to teach my parents about Judaism, and today I'm proud to say that my whole family was chozrim b'tshuva.
אין לעבדו אלא בארץ ישראל, וכאן שאלנו כיפו אלו יגדל.
Ich gehe durch eine Sache rüber, spaziere durch Sachen in Gadera, das ist eine Gegend. Und ich frage die Sache, ich bin da reingekommen. Ich sehe den Platz, ich gewohnt, ich habe Kusche, steht da Kusche. Ich gehe rein, frei bei der Bus, alles sind freie Menschen. Ich frage ihn, was ist geschehen, was ist gemacht Kusche? Er hat mir erzählt, dass er Sissek in Salam Shuvu. In dem England hat gesagt, dass ich stehe best mit Kusche. Er will auch der Restaurant sein Kusche, der Tat ist Restaurant. Und der Tat hat gesagt, ich bin Service schon mal Shabbos, in der Platz ist vermacht Shabbos. Der Jange gemacht der Erste. In Itzter, der einmische Eulam, kann essen Geschmack Eiscreme zu dem Shuvu. Herankommen du, nehmen ein Stück Eiscreme so, in den oben. Wow. Bei ihm ist gut. Auch hat Kusche, auch hat Geschmack.
I will tell that it's like a story. It's not connected to me because I told you that I didn't know what is religion. I even didn't know what is being Jewish. What does Jewish mean? I didn't know anything.
I was born in Russia, in Belarus, in Minsk. I made my Aliyah when I was 8 years old.
I live in Russia, in Belarus, as a goy. I didn't know about what is Jewish mean too.
My second and third grade I learned in Beit Sefer Mamlachti.
There spoke about holidays of Jewish without holidays of Goyim the same. So I didn't know what it means to Jewish. Religion, it was something very new for me when I come to Shuvu. I just can say that the teachers in Shuvu and Shuvu at all are a big family. They gave us a feeling that We are their daughters. They take care of us. They called us, come our homes to visit, was interested in everything that happens in our lives. It was very, very warm feeling. I finished the school 10 years ago, but till today they look at me in the street and they're so happy to see me and just ask me and like my daughter, and it's just, we feel like a family.
They will inspire them, they will teach them Torah, mitzvahs, midos, darchei noyam of our Torah, and the children will just love it.
I think the Rav Pam made a very important thing. He was a good shaliach from an Eibishter to make a very, very important, very good thing. And Hashem yishalem scharo.
And my bar mitzvah, my parents took me to a Bet Chabad to make me a bar mitzvah. And when I went to the shul on Shabbos, I asked my mother why didn't she take a camera with her? And she looked at me and she told me, a camera at Shabbos, we can't film on Shabbos. And I asked her why. What, is it like forbidden? Is it fire? So this is all in you, nothing. I grew up in Maalot. It's a city nearby Haifa, in the north of Israel. My parents were secular, completely, like non-frum. And I came to Shuvu when I was 14. On my first day in Shuvu, I came to daven in the shul with all of my friends, like all the students, and I saw them praying, and they davened Shema Yisrael. And I was laughing, like I have never seen it before. Shuvu makes a very big change in the Russian population. They teach them about Torah and about mitzvahs, keep Shabbos or even to daven. Sometimes it's all Shuvu. It wasn't possible without Shuvu. That's for sure. Today I live in Jerusalem and I learn all day in a yeshiva. They help me to make my first step in the big frum world. Serious nefesh, to live a life by an idea which is not so simple or tough even, and to live by it because you think it's true, even it's very difficult. Shuvu is a life changer for me. I didn't grow up into this, and to learn in yeshiva today, it's not so simple, but with the help of my rabbis and the staff of Shuvu and everything, it becomes possible. What across the Toiv? Everything. They made me who I am today.
Well, basically nothing. I knew only two things, that I am Jewish and that I have to eat kosher. I really didn't know what kosher is. I knew that a pig is forbidden, and that's it. Sadly, the communists, they made the life of Jews in Russia very hard. So, Tinokot that nishbu, we couldn't do anything. We knew nothing. I am a Shuvu student from 3rd grade. And today, Baruch Hashem, today I'm Shomer Shabbat, I'm learning Gemara 9 hours a day, I think, maybe a little more. I know a lot of Torah, the Torah, Nevim, Ktuvim, and I'm a very happy person, only because of that. And it's really fascinating and pleasuring to know that from zero I came to yeshiva. It's improved not just the way that we learn, it's improved the religion and our religious way. Shuvu gave me a free feeling. I couldn't believe that. And now, only now I can appreciate that. I'm very thankful to God and the school in particular, and to my mother. How could I forget her? And that only because of them, I made it for here. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. If they don't gonna help to the school, those boys like me that came to Israel, only with the Aliyah, the Jews, they're gonna be in some Hiloni school with girls. They're gonna end their life as the Jews, but only as a name of Jew. We have a mitzvah in Torah, Al ta'amod al dam re'echa. This Shuvu school, that's the mitzvah. Al ta'amod al dam re'echa. Tatzil, ta'azor, help and save those who came to the country. Don't save their body, save their soul. That's my message. Help. You can help. Help. That's what you can do.
Shuvu school changed my life. הם גידלו אותי לדרך ארץ and מצוינות. And I very רוצה להודות להם על הכל, because מה שאני היום זה בגלל שובו. I studied at the Shuvu school in Tel Aviv, grade 1 and grade 6. My family is not religious. When I went to Shuvu, I connected to the Torah. For example, I went my teacher home in Bnei Brak for Shabbat. The Seudah and the Kiddush, Pesach did Leila Seder in the class. And they connected to me to the Torah and mitzvot. Today I'm Haredit. My parents is not Haredit. I studying at the college in Bnei Brak. I works in my Shua nursing. It is a hospital Haredi. Yes, I'm very happy. אני רוצה להודות לבית ספר שובו, שבזכותם אני מה שאני היום, and אני מאוד אוהבת את זה. I very love it because for me it's a really way. Oh, thank you.
They changed my life completely. I want to tell you 3 big things that Shuvu did for me. The first one was secular education. They taught me math, physics. They had great teachers that actually invested in us, that taught us how to think. And because of that education, I can be a software developer, which I am today. And the second part, the great part that Shuvu did for me, was Yadut. Shuvu taught me how to learn Gemara, how to open the Gemara and understand it. Even like to open a sugya in Chulin that talks about Basar B'cholav and to be able to understand it. To even talk Lamdis, to open the Achroim Reb Shimon and Rabbi Kiveger and to understand it. The third thing was my family, was the ability to build a family. How important it is to get married and to live a Jewish life, to be a good person, a good man to your wife. It was a great part of it was Shuvu. 3 things. First, secular education. Second, to be a lamzen. Third, to build the Bais Neman in Israel. Thank you, Shuvu. She claps.
My mom said, no, like you have to go with us. Well, how you can do it? You don't love us. You don't need us like now. You want only your teachers to be only with them. The relationship in the family began very hard because like you want something else and the parents want something else. Like in Shabbos they go to a trip and really nice place to see, and I didn't come with them because it's in the car, so I stay always at home alone. In Shabbos it was very hard. I really began to keep more, to pray. The parents was very afraid of it and said that they will take it to the other school. But we wanted to stay because that we began to really to להתחזק. I know that now it's hard for me because I have a very much difficult with my parents. The principal of Shuvu, Dvor Sofer. I live in her house. She cared me for all. And in the wedding, my parents didn't come because it was so difficult to them. And so it was very hard. Like, you know, in my wedding day, no one of my family was, only the part of my husband. All what I now and I grow, it's only because of Shuvu. Now I speak with my mother every day in the phone. We have a very good relationship. I have a life with meaning. I don't live every day just because it's another day. Without you, I will never come to be what I am.
Children, and not only the schools, but the entire families. The many, many schools of Shuvu that has completely turned around the lives of perhaps thousands, I guess I can say.
It was a touch of genius for him to create the Shuvu system.
You will have thousands and thousands of children that you'll be able to say, these are mine, these are my children.
So the Rosh Hashiva was prepared to give away his last ounce of strength on behalf of Shuvu. This was the Rosh Hashiva's plan. This was his wish.
This is the story of Yiddishe Kinder, he said. Take the Kinder and throw them to the ground. Don't bother with them. Let them go their way. Because they have no emunah. You say they have no emunah. Throw them away. Let them go. Torah is on the march. Just give us a little more time and we'll present you an Eretz Yisroel that is fit for the Shechina. Give us a little more time. Give us your siyata d'shmaya.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our amazing Shuvu live virtual event. Tonight, this hour, that will include some wonderful conversation. It will include the inspiring music of our fabulous orchestra and the wonderful Benny Friedman. Will also include an incredible video from Israel that will culminate this amazing evening. A video of the most incredible Siyum ever, accompanied by and hosted by Rav Chaim Kanievsky Shlita in Israel, all being done by Shuvu students and alumni in Israel. The greatest Siyum of Kol HaTorah Kulah being done by students and alumni of Shuvu. Tonight's an amazing opportunity, not just to tune in and be inspired by all this incredible programming and wonderful event, but it's an opportunity to support the great work of Shuvu. Shuvu has quite a track record, over 3 decades of an incredible network of schools and yeshivas in Israel that have transformed Israeli society, but more importantly, has gone ahead and changed the lives of thousands of children and their families in Israel. We have a unique opportunity for one more reason tonight. Everything that you give between now and 10 p.m., everything you give in the next hour is being doubled, is being matched, which means we have an opportunity tonight to get to a $2 million goal. It is realistic. It is very doable. We need your help to get there. You're with us already on the website, shuvusiyum.org, shuvusiyum.org. Alert your friends, your relatives, everybody you know in your neighborhood to tune in right now at shuvusiyum.org and to participate in this unique event, to enjoy the incredible presentation we have coming up from Israel, and to give and support the work of Shuvu. Everything this hour is doubled. Please make sure it is a massive success. shuvusiyum.org. Tell everybody you know. Get on your WhatsApp, your email, whatever social network you use to let people know that this hour is a critical hour for the future of Jewish education in Israel. Please give generously, and again, every time you give, that donation is being doubled. Tonight is the culmination, as we said, of an incredible Siyum, an amazing effort. Please watch this video along with me that shows you what preparations for this Siyum was all about.
Shuvu, changing the face of Eretz Yisroel for over 30 years.
And she looked at me and she told me, the camera at Shabbos, they changed my life completely.
Today I'm proud to say that my whole family was chozrim b'tshuva.
Getting married to Yeshiva Bocher and having the small little children that are going to Talmudei Torah.
The impact of Shuvu.
Today I'm learning in Bnei Brak, in Yeshiva.
I remembered this teacher and I said, this kind of Shabbat I want to be in my house.
I felt this strong connection to Hashem.
I even didn't know what is being Jewish. What does Jewish mean?
Basically nothing. I knew only two things, that I am Jewish and that I have to eat kosher.
Shuvu has been changing families in Eretz Yisroel for 30 years.
Saturday was a good day to go travel around. Now, thanks God, it's much different.
If I look back how I started my life, how I grew up in the regular world, my 8-year-old son is learning Gemara.
For over 30 years, being Makarv Lavav is changing the lives of people in Eretz Yisroel.
It was hard, but it was it.
And now we want to bring everybody together. We want everyone involved. We're going to make a global Siyum zusammen.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel. I learn in Shuvu Tel Aviv.
I learn in Shuvu Petach Tikva.
I learn in Shuvu Natalia.
I'm so excited to be learning Masechet Sukkah for the Siyum
and Shmuel Aleph.
Chumash Bereshit.
So excited to be learning 10 chapters of Mishlei for the Siyum.
So excited to be learning Chumash Dvarim for the Siyum.
How long is Masechet Megillah?
Masechet Tanach, Ketuvim, Amos, and Ishayahu, Navi.
Well, all of Klal Yisrael involved in this beautiful mission of Rav Pam, the Heilige Shuvu.
Torah, mitzvahs, midos, darchei noyam of our Torah, and the children will just love it.
By showing our support, we're being malb'teil in Klal Yisrael. And for that schus that we're malb'teil in Klal Yisrael, we should have nachas from all our children.
We want everybody involved in this beautiful, unbelievable mission.
Klal Yisrael needs everybody that can come. These are people that are coming back to Klal Yisrael.
I thank the Shuvu because they give me my life.
I had a great shidduch with me. Said I can't, I'm not trying.
Shuvu is an organization that was started by Rav Pam 30 years ago. And it was made specifically for Russian Siyum, the Russian Aliyah that was coming to Eretz Yisroel, to have a school system for them. It has taken on a life of its own in the sense that it's now taking in Israeli children. Because the Russians are, Baruch Hashem, whatever happened to them happened. They're part of Israel already. But now the Israeli children, or the children coming from other parts of the world, America even, who are not formed to start with, who joined the movement because they want to have something of faith in them. And it's a movement that I saw personally. And I was in Eretz Yisroel, and I saw that these are taking actually children from non-frum homes, and not only turning the homes into frum homes, but the kids into Talmidei Chachamim. By showing our support, we're being malb'teil in Klal Yisrael, and for that schus that we're malb'teil in Klal Yisrael, we should have nachas from all our children. We should have the Teicha Vacha with nachas and I guess halichas yomim. Health in this day and age, it's a very big balacha. And together with our children, that should join us and to show that we're all one. Klal Yisrael needs everybody that can come. These are people that are coming back to Klal Yisrael. It's part of Eliyahu Hanavi's movement of bringing back the people that were far away. And Yirtzeh Hashem, we should be zeicher to have no nachas from our children, and Yirtzeh Hashem, we should be coupled with Shir Tzedken with Meir B'Yameinu. Amen.
It's the night of our most incredible Siyum ever, and there are two primary ways to help support the work of Shuvu, and I hope you'll do one of them right now. One, you'll see the donate button, shuvusiyum.org, shuvusiyum.org. Make the charity campaign a success. Everything you give in the next hour is double. That's really important, a great opportunity to take advantage of. Secondly, you can actually use a phone number, 718-692-3434. If you call that number, you can give your donation over the phone. If you're more comfortable with that, again, 718-692-3434. The co-chairmen of Shuvu are here, Rabbi Biederman and Rabbi Yossi Hach. Thank you to both of you for being here tonight. Abe, we'll start with you. Why is Shuvu such an important investment for the Jewish world?
Well, you had over 1 million people who came from the former Soviet Union, and they didn't know anything. Most people who just watched TV knew about the Ten Commandments. They didn't. They didn't even know about Aseret Sadibros. They didn't know about Moshe Rabbeinu. When we had the first Seder, they didn't know what it was. And so now we have a chance, which we didn't have for 70 years, to bring back a big Shevet of Klal Yisrael. And it's an opportunity that we can't afford to lose. And that's what Shuvu was all about, to save a Shevet of Klal Yisrael.
Students, children who knew nothing, and you'll be impressed later on tonight when you see just how much they know. Yossi Hach, you've seen this. You've seen it live and in person because there are Shuvu schools in so many different cities in Israel. Tell us what that experience is like.
Every time we go to Israel, pre the pandemic, we used to go at least 3 or 4 times a year, and we make it our business to visit schools because the principals really need our support, not just our monetary support, but they like when people from America come and visit. And I know all the principals, I know many of the teachers, and I've also met many of the students, and I've also met many of the alumni, and it's a pleasure to see what we can really do with the students. Like Abe said, these students really come from minimal background. The video we had tonight, there was one Talmud whose father didn't even know what Pesach was, right. And now the entire mishpacha is from. And the boy learns with the father, and the boy is learning 70 blat for the Siyum. And he was one of those who made a Siyum on a Gemara at Rav Chaim. Abe and I were at an event in Ramat Gan, a fundraiser in Ramat Gan. The boy made a Siyum on Masechtas Beisa. He gave a shir on Muktzah, which is the end of the Masechta. You would have thought that this was a Rosh Yeshiva speaking. A young boy, he was still in high school. And he gave a fantastic speech. So we see what we can do.
Pretty amazing. All right, I'm going to ask both of you to join me in asking this audience right now to use tonight's opportunity of this matching situation where every dollar you give is matched to give and give right now. Abe, we'll start with you. Tell everybody why tonight is the night to give.
Well, everything is matched, and we need the money, especially over the last year where we had so few opportunities to fundraise. And this is our opportunity to catch up and plan for the future as we get out of the pandemic. And we need those resources to bring the children and to bring more and more children.
Yossi, tell the audience why now is the time to support Shuvu.
One of the things that we've done for this year, because of the pandemic in Israel too, is we spent a lot of extra money for our registration for next year. And Baruch Hashem, it seems to be very successful. And it seems as if last year we went to our first grade registration went up by about 5%. It looks like it will even exceed that this year, maybe 10 to 15%, more children, and that's a bigger expense. But people should remember, besides the matching that we have tonight, the government is actually our biggest matcher. 75 to 80% of our budget is covered by the Israeli government. And so that when you're helping us get an additional child, 80% of that money is coming from the government. And we can add children very easily. So people have to help.
Everything you give is doubled tonight, and Shuvu will use the opportunity to continue to increase and grow their network of schools and the number of students that as you just heard, who can attend those schools. Please, if you're on the site right now, shuvusiyum.org, hit the donate button. Make this campaign tonight a big success. And if you'd like to call and give, 718-692-3434. My thanks to both Abe Biederman and Yossi Hach, who are chair people of the Shuvu organization. And now we move on to some of the entertainment and inspiration of tonight. You keep giving, and we'll keep giving you some wonderful music. Please welcome Benny Friedman.
העם הזה בדרך, אני הולך עם ראש למעלה, כל אחד ובנו בת של מלך. ככה היה, וככה זה גם הלאה, יהודי נשמה בוערת. כל מקום הוא בכל ארץ, אתה לא רוצה שיהיה אחרת. יהודי אני, זה משהו נצחי בני אברהם. יצחק ויעקב, ונוצר רבקה רחל ולאה בני אברהם. יצחק ויעקב, ונוצר רבקה רחל ולאה. עברי אלוהי קריאס השם אלוקי השמיים אני יורד. Every Jew's a proud Jew, and not just me, my sisters and my brothers. Don't ever be ashamed to be a proud Jew. It's not what you've done, that's how we made you. The things on the spread the bright around you. Yehudi ani, eternally, Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'notzar rivka Rachel v'Leah Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'notzar rivka Rachel v'Leah. Ivri Elohi v'yetz Hashem Elokei hashamayim ani yored. Ivri Elohi v'yetz Hashem Elokei hashamayim ani yored. Everybody sing along now.
hear it for Benny Friedman. And thank you to the Dunstern Orchestra and the Lave Choir. Thank you, everybody, for inspiring us tonight. I hope they've inspired you enough to click on the donate button and be a supporter of Shuvu. Everything you give to Shuvu tonight is going to be matched. Please hit the donate button right now at shuvusiyum.org. And, of course, you can call 718-692-3434. We're building up to the big moment of the night when Shuvu students and alumni gather together at the home of Rav Chaim Kanievsky to conclude the world's greatest Siyum. What an incredible tribute it is to the amazing work that Shuvu does for children and families in Israel. There was a kickoff event for this amazing and incredible Siyum. We have a video with highlights of it. Here it is, video of highlights from the kickoff event. Let's watch it together.
There's no better way to send a message about a certain Indian than the Koach of Nagina and the Koach of music.
2 years ago, I was invited to join a mission to Eretz Yisroel with Shuvu. Only after I went on this trip and I witnessed firsthand Shuvu's amazing work that I became aware of the tremendous scope and impact that Shuvu has had on the children of Eretz Yisroel and the Torah of Eretz Yisroel. An opportunity which you can all participate in.
This is your chance to have part in this mission of Rav Pam.
The greatest yeshiva in the world is Shuvu. And this is the way how to mention
You actually now have a chelik in Shuvu.
What could be better?
When I came to Eretz Yisroel with my background experience in Kiruv, and I saw what was going on there, I had to be a part of it. Thousands of children.
By showing our support, we're being malbetail in Kol Yisrael.
The Shuvu Talmidim and alumni were the Maschil b'mitzvah. They took upon themselves and have signed up to finish Kol HaTorah Kulah. But you and I, us, Omrim Gimor, let's keep with the mission, let's keep with the Siyum, let's stay with the Shuvu family and join them.
All right, we're back, and obviously the Young Leadership Initiative was inspired. We've just been informed that the Young Leadership Initiative of Shuvu has pledged $100,000 to make sure that the Shuvu network will continue strong. A big yeshikach to everybody, all the families involved in the Young Leadership Initiative. I hope everybody watching now follows suit and does the same thing, contributes and has their donation doubled. Do so now at shuvusiyum.org and by dialing 718-692-3434. Rabbi Mordechai Eisenberg is here, a board member of Shuvu. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Shalom Aleichem.
Tell us about your first involvement with Shuvu. When did you first learn that there's this incredible network of schools in Israel that's taking care of Israel's immigrants?
When Rabbi Yossi Hach asked me if I would be willing to bring my grandfather, Rav Reuven Feinstein, shlita to Eretz Yisroel, as a favor to him for an organization he had that I never heard of. And I said, if you want me to ask my grandfather to go to Eretz Yisroel, and I can go with him, sure. So I asked him, and he said he would be willing to do it. And he came to see Shuvu, and I went with him, and I was absolutely floored by what I saw.
You know, that worked out really well for you, didn't it?
It really did.
And we should point out, and I'm so glad you brought this up, we should point out, in addition to your grandfather, there are so many Gedolei Yisrael, past and present, who have been such enthusiastic supporters of Shuvu. I'm sure you've seen that up close and personal. What is, not all Gedolei Torah get behind causes every single day. Why is this one so vital to them?
Because we're talking about people who didn't have a choice. It's not like they decided to become not religious. They came from countries where it was torn away for a century. Can you imagine 30 years ago, the Iron Curtain falls, and there are hundreds of thousands of Jews pouring into Eretz Yisroel. Rav Pam saw an opportunity. He said, if we don't catch them, then nobody will. And when you see children who, they come in and they taste Torah, and they become so excited about it, and it's taught with love. It's taught with love in a way that every school should follow that example. It's just an amazing thing. With such love that it's theirs for life. And the children are accomplishing. I mean, look what they did with this incredible Siyum.
Yep. It's just amazing. And we all know, all of us know, everybody here in this room knows what a difference a great Rebbe or teacher, Mora, can do for a student. And it seems for some reason Shuvu has incredible personnel in Israel.
They really do. From the top, Rav Chaim Kanievsky in the office, Eitan Himmelstein is there, and Mevitzin Bracha Weinberger. She's really, and they exude love, and they have 1,000 teachers.
Yeah, they have their heart and soul in it.
Best teachers in the world.
All right, Rabbi Eisenberg, it's very simple. You know, while we're here tonight, we want to beg people, literally, to hop on the bandwagon, to go ahead and to have their donation double so Shuvu can continue strong. Join me. Tell the audience why they should give right now.
Could you imagine if there's a family that 30 years ago, that Shuvu first starts, everyone thinks that family is written off from Kol Yisroel. Shuvu has been doing what we all should be doing. They've been picking up the pieces. There's nobody else to do it. They've been our shluchim. They are our messengers. They're the ones changing the face of Eretz Yisroel to the extent that 30 years later, the alumni of Shuvu, you're talking about 20,000 alumni, 6,000 children in Shuvu. These are people who are only frum because of the dedication of a few. The only thing stopping Shuvu from expanding and giving and opening multiple schools all over the place is funding. Every dollar that you give to Shuvu will absolutely directly be used to help another Jewish child learn about their tradition. It's so important. Every one of us has to get behind this. So click the Donate Now button.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Eisenberg. Ladies and gentlemen out there, Lenin and Stalin and Khrushchev and Brezhnev, they were sure there was no future for religious life for Soviet Jewry. They were confident that there'd be no Yiddishkeit in the future of those Jews who were in the former Soviet Union. And we see what happened. Right now, there are millions of Jews in the former Soviet Union in Israel. Many of them, thank God, have already sent their children to Shuvu schools. Let's get as many as possible to get into this network of schools and become B'nai Torah, B'nos Yisrael, and bring Judaism, real, authentic Torah, true Judaism, into their homes. It all happens through the children. Please donate now. It's 1 hour that we beg you to make this greatest Siyum ever, the most incredible success. Please donate now. ShuvuSiyum.org. Encourage your friends and relatives to do the same. And please, if you'd like to use a telephone, not a problem. 718-692-3434, 718-692-3434. I mentioned with Rabbi Eisenberg that many Gedolei Yisrael have been incredible supporters of Shuvu, none greater, of course, than the incredible Rav Pam of blessed memory. Take a close look at this video and remember what Rav Pam thought and said about Shuvu.
We're going to adhere to our program. And what is our program? I've said it once before. Our program is Chinuch Kodesh, Zera Kodesh, Eretz Kodesh. That's why I run around to do whatever I can for the chinuch of Yiddishe kinder, wherever it is. And Shuvu is especially dear to me. Maybe because I had the schus to get it started. Were you going to say no to them? No way. There's no way you can say no to them. I want to ask a simple question. If we turn down all those children and their parents, will we be able to live with ourselves? Or will turning them down not haunt us the rest of our lives? And what will they tell the children? They will inspire them. They will teach them Torah, mitzvahs, midos. Rebbeinu Shalom, how do I thank you for the schus that you gave me? This das to initiate and to launch Shuvu. Yes, there will be a for your children. And the Shechina will be in that school. It's a movement. It's a movement to make this dramatic change. The inner Kedusha that's in these children. That it's a melchemes mitzvah on our part. We must stand up more than ever. Hashem Elokei Yisroel Melech. This is what we have to say, b'maaseinu, not b'finu, b'maaseinu. This will be the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You will support them, you will show off with them, you'll be proud of them.
One bar, yeah? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Benny. That was beautiful. Thank you. I mentioned earlier the Young Leadership Initiative. I want to give a special shout out to Yitzi Berger. Thank you, Yitzi Berger, and everybody at the Young Leadership Initiative for their incredible work on behalf of Shuvu and for the amazing pledge tonight for the Shuvu most incredible Siyum ever. Have you given yet? Remember, we're 10-15 minutes away from the moment we've all been waiting for, to see that video from Israel from earlier today when HaRav Chaim Kanievsky hosted everybody from Shuvu, including students and Avreichim from Shuvu, who were together to literally make a Siyum on Kol HaTorah Kulah, symbolic of the incredible Jewish education that Shuvu's been responsible for 3 decades in Israel. If you have not yet supported Shuvu today, here's your opportunity. ShuvuSiyum.org, you'll see the donate button. Make the charity campaign a successful one, because everything you give right now is being matched. It's being doubled. What an easier way it is to get to our goal. Please give now and make what you're giving worth twice as much. You can also call the number right now at 718-692-3434, 718-692-3434, and we hope you will, and we hope you'll give generously. We're minutes away from that amazing video coming from Israel. We do want to present yet another video of a Gadol B'Torah, a Torah giant, who during his lifetime had important thoughts and words about Shuvu. He recently passed away, and we remember him tonight as we hear his words. Please pay careful attention to Rav Yitzchak Shiner ZT'L and tonight's video presentation.
Which was once the primary Kehillah in Klal Yisroel, where the greatest Gedolim lived and learned and flourished and came from. And that was all destroyed by events, and Rav Pam was the instrument of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to return the glory to Russian Jewry. And he's doing wonderful work, as we all know. And it's my pleasure always to be a shutef in the holy work. There can be no greater mitzvah than to support Shuvu schools, which is the basis of the entire future of Russian Jewry and its connection with Torah. Russian Jewry was once the foremost Kehillah of Klal Yisroel, where the greatest Gedolim and Geonim and Tzaddikim of Klal Yisroel grew and flourished. And as we all know that what happened to Russian Jewry, Kadosh Baruch Hu should have Rachmanis on Gans Klal Yisroel. And the Ezras Hashem, Shuvu will bring them back up to a tremendous massive in preparation for the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mheira b'yameinu Amen.
Thank you. Please keep giving. ShuvuSiyum.org, 718-692-3434. Later tonight, as I keep saying, there's going to be an incredible video coming to us from earlier today in Israel, when HaRav Chaim Kanievsky hosted the Shuvu Siyum. The young man who is actually participating as a messiah of Kol HaTorah Kulah, the young man is a Shuvu student whose name is Moshe Datsky. Moshe Datsky's story and his family's story is emblematic of the Russian Jewish Shuvu story in Israel, how Shuvu helped transform his life and in turn his parents' and family's life. Before we go to our big Siyum on this night of the incredible Siyum, let's learn a little bit more about the Datsky family.
I was not religious when I married my wife. I married my wife 15 years ago. Shuvu invited us to Seder Pesach We saw all the steps in the Seder, what we have to read, what we should tell to our children, to future generation. In the summer vacation, my son had a time, and now only 2 weeks, and he learned another Masechet. He said your son should, until age 16, end all the Shas.
Shuvu, it is a present from the sky.
We are sitting in the evening, we learn Masechet. He is teaching me. I hadn't this opportunity when I was little, so Baruch Hashem.
Today I'm learning in a Bnei Brak, in a yeshiva.
I'm so proud that my Moshe learned in the Shuvu. He knows Gemara, Masachot. This is because he learned at Shuvu.
You can definitely say that we are now closer to Hashem because of Shuvu. All our 4 children learned in Shuvu. We're living in a generation when children only want to play with PlayStation, only want to watch TV. And he understands that he should learn Torah, and he enjoys it.
That is the Datsky family in Israel, and that's Moshe Datsky. And just in a minute or two, literally in a minute or two, the penultimate moment of the evening, the incredible moment that we've been waiting for, is going to be shared with all of you. A video that took place, an event that took place earlier today. We have it on video at the home of Rav Chaim Kanievsky in Israel, as he hosted and gave brachos to those who were being Messiahim, those who were completing Kol HaTorah Kulah for this symbolic and incredible event that Shuvu undertook. It's a real event. It's not a symbol, but the symbolism behind it of Kol HaTorah Kulah being finished by these students and alumni of Shuvu is just incredible. I am waiting with anticipation to show you this video. I almost want to ask you to please, if you haven't donated yet, do it now. I'll give you another minute or two. Do it now. Prove all the naysayers of Soviet history wrong when they said there'd be no Yiddishkeit in the lives of the families and children that lived behind the Iron Curtain. It's now less than 2 weeks to Pesach, a time that we're so concerned about the physical needs of our brothers and sisters, and rightfully so. But what about the spiritual needs? What about making sure that they have what they need on a daily basis when it comes to Torah and mitzvahs to grow up in a Torah true environment? Let's not only concentrate on the tremendous mitzvahs of Mos Chitim and making sure that people this time of year have physically what they need, but let's also make sure that they have spiritually what they need. We're now in Nisan, Chodesh HaGeula. We saw a real Geula. Those of us who were around saw it in the 80s and 90s, how millions of Jews were released from bondage of the communist governments. We saw it, we felt it, and we know a lot of people who went through it. Now here's our opportunity to commemorate their geula, their freedom, and not chas v'shalom with an inappropriate lifestyle, but Baruch Hashem with an appropriate Torah true lifestyle. Could you please help us get to our goal right now? Keep in mind, as we have 11, 12 minutes to go, that our goal is within reach, and everything you give right now is being matched. If you give $1,800 this moment, that's a $3,600 donation. If you give $5,000 this moment, that is a $10,000 donation. And if you give $18 this moment, that's a $36 donation. Please give. ShuvuSiyum.org. Encourage your friends, neighbors, and relatives to do the same right now. That's how important the next few minutes are. And, of course, you can call the number, 718-692-3434, 718-692-3434. Please do it right now. The video you're about to see happened hours ago in Israel. at the home of Rav Chaim Kanievsky in Bnei Brak, where an incredible student of Shuvu who you just met, Moshe, and an Avreich, an older gentleman who is one of the Rabbeim at Shuvu, were together to be Messiah Kol HaTorah Kulah, and not just be Messiah on their own, but to represent all of the Shuvu students, young men who were studying all of Shas, young women who were studying all of Chumash and Navi. This is the opportunity to see what it was like earlier today when this happened at the home of Rav Chaim Kanievsky. Please, you're going to see something right now, this incredible Siyum, that is being recognized not only by us and so many Balabatim around the world, but by all the Torah giants in Israel, the United States, and around the world who recognize how vital a cause Shuvu is. With that in mind, as we're about to play this video, please give generously and have your donation matched. ShuvuSiyum.org and 718-692-3434. This is what happened earlier today at the home of Rav Chaim Kanievsky.
אנחנו נמצאים פה ברוך השם במעמד מרגש, מעמד מיוחד, מעמד מימד היסטורי של סיום הש"ס, שנלמד בשנה האחרונה על ידי כלל התלמידים של רשת שובו מכל הארץ, מכל בתי הספר, שלמדו את זה ביחד עם האברכים, מהאברכים של הכהנים של כנסת ישראל, במשך שנה שלמה למדו את כל הש"ס.
אין ש"ס, אחרי לפני, אבל הבת שלהם, הרבים
הוא נואף, דעה לגבי דעה אינדתה, את הגבר סליק נואף, הייתי בדקה לבבא, אבא מחתן תכלה, תמן, ותאמינון חביה, אמר רבא, אינדת השריה, אימידה דעה בדיסור אני חלד, ולאכול ולמות. אדם הלך בנו דברים, מסביב גם עשרת דברים, ואדם הלך בכל השעה הזאת.
מה שבהם יש דין מיוחד, שאם בטעות נתנו שם עשירי לתשיעי, אז הוא נאכל במומו כמו מעשר, גם אם נתנו שם תשיעי לעשירי אמיתי, אז חל דין מעשר עליו, אמר, קרא לתשיעי עשירי קדוש. אם הוא בטעות, תלמוד בבלי ודרך חלם, דעת המלאי תלמוד בבלי ודעת חלם.
שובו אליי ושובו אליכם! כמה אשרי זכינו יש פה, אז יהיה רוצן שבכל האשרי זכינו שיש פה בישרבנו שניצל יושפע השפע רב לכל העוסקים המתעסקים ולכל התלמידים שכל העוסקים שיושבים לפונו יסגדי ויסחבי שמי רבו חי יכולים ובכל ישראל גולו בזמן כחים ואומר אשרי אשרי מי שגדל בתורה אליי ויעמוד עליי ויעמוד לבתיי אשרי
יושבים כאן בכל כיסא וכיסא בבית ספר של שוב, הוא צריך לחשוב שעל כיסא אחד יושב אביי וכיסא אחד יושב רובה, ואם ככה נחשוב, ככה יצאו מהילדים האלה. שנייה.
זרם מוסר השם נוגילו ונסמכו בוי. הסיום הש"ס הזה הוקדש לזכר מייסד רשת שובו, מרן ראש מועצת גדולי התורה בארצות הברית ומברום הכהן פאם ZT'L, ולא ישמע את הנגיד ידיד שובו, שכל משפחה ידידים שובו, רב נחמן וזאב וולפסון, זכר צדיק לברכה. הסיום הזה גם לזכות רבי יצחוק בן מיכאל בן חיים בן יורו וחיים בני ראובן.
לכל התלמידים הוא רוצה ברכה שלו עצמו סייעתא דשמיא גדולה, שיהיה לו נחת לכל הילדים. כולם רוצים פה ברוכה, כל אחד שימר השם ישר יתקבל לטובו. מצד יכול לברך את כולם.
Mazel tov, sing the song. Yeah, hey, long to the Chol Yisroel. Sing it
Thank you to the Dunstern Orchestra and the Lave Choir. And I was just telling Aryeh Gelbart a minute ago that there's so many people involved in tonight's production. I can't go through the entire list, but I got to give a big thank you to everybody, video and sound and the event planners and coordinators, everybody who made this phenomenal evening so phenomenal. Thank you very, very much to everybody for all your efforts, all the directors, all the producers, and everybody who had a role tonight. I have good news. I checked with Abe Biederman, and he tells me you can contribute even after 10 p.m. tonight. So those of you who've already helped us get to where we've gotten to, we say thank you. If you have not yet contributed to support Shuvu and to keep Shuvu going and growing, then please do so right now, because everything you give up to $500,000 is going to be matched, which means every $1,000 donation right now is a $2,000 donation. Be generous. Give what you can. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, everybody why Shuvu is such an important hallmark institution in the Jewish world and especially in Israel. Please give generously. ShuvuSiyum.org, their charity campaign, and by dialing 718-692-3434. As we say goodnight and thank everybody for being part of this incredible event, the most incredible Siyum ever, we will play a Shuvu video for you and say thank you for tuning in, thank you for being generous, and thank you for helping Shuvu out, whether it's been over the past 30 years or if you just started tonight. Thank you for making Shuvu continue to go and grow and be a real factor in the Jewish world. Wishing everybody a Chag Kosher v'Sameach. My name is Nachum Segal. On behalf of Shuvu and everybody here, thank you very much and good night.
The name Shuvu is very befitting because Shuvu means come back. And it brought back not only the children and not only the schools, but the entire families.
The many, many schools of Shuvu that has completely turned around the lives of perhaps thousands, I guess I could say.
It was a touch of genius for him to create the Shuvu system.
You will have thousands and thousands of children that you'll be able to say, these are mine, these are my children.
The Rosh Yeshiva was prepared to give away his last ounce of strength on behalf of Shuvu. This was the Rosh Yeshiva's plan. This was his wish.
This is the story of Yiddishe Kinder, he said. Take the Kinder and throw them to the ground. Don't bother with them. Let them go their way. Because they have no emunah. You say they have no emunah. Throw them away. Let them go. Torah is on the march. Just give us a little more time and we'll present you an Eretz Yisroel that is fit for the Shekhinah. Give us a little more time. Give us your siyata d'shmaya.